Welcome to Unit 3 in the series, Special Interests in Regular Schools. Unit 1 discussed special interests, the names they're known by, how they've been perceived historically and through the medical model lens. Unit 2 covered why special interests matter and why we might not be doing anything about leveraging them in the classroom. Then we covered a way to tackle big, hairy, scary issues rather than accepting them as facts. And now we're on to planning and enabling pedagogies. Let's go. In case you haven't seen videos 1 and 2, the information I'm presenting you with was part of my master's degree in specialist teaching, looking at how special interests could be used in classrooms to promote success. So the findings were that special interests are an integral part of autistic identity, and including them allows a raft of benefits. It's things like connection, engagement, achievement, and well-being. So just another bit of fine recapping. We looked at ways to use the appreciative inquiry model to solve issues that look like they were too big to look at. So we appreciate what we've got now, figure out ways to make it even better, design for it, deliver it, assess whether or not we're getting there, and just keep on going. So it's bit by bit improving things. Some people kind of think appreciative inquiry is a little bit of a toxic positivity thing, saying appreciate what is. But honestly, if you are doing it properly and you are appreciating what is, you're going for a strengths-based approach and you're going to be working positively with what's in front of you. So now we're at the point of learning about enabling pedagogies, approaches that allow you to plan for and include special interests. And the first thing that you need is an attitude. It's not this kind of attitude. It's the kind of attitude of inclusion. It's a mindset that's going to prioritize and value every individual's participation, their uniqueness, and their potential in a learning environment, which sounds like that just can't happen. But it's about recognizing that diversity strengthens a community and it extends beyond simply including students to actively welcoming and supporting their unique contributions. It's possible. So now you're armed with an attitude, you can look through the range of approaches on offer for you, investigate, trial, and repeat using an appreciative approach or any other approach that you think works for you. So I'm going to run through a few of these and put resources in Google Classroom and the Room B Facebook group for you to do follow-up investigations on. So now we're going to get a little bit controversial. So if you've heard of ABA, Applied Behaviour Analysis, we're kind of steering away from that because ABA, in my opinion, tends to focus on modifying or correcting behaviours rather than embracing and supporting the unique ways that autistic students learn and engage. Particularly in America, we're having some adult autistic people coming through now and they have experienced the ABA interventions or they've been in the ABA therapy and consider it abuse. So as much as possible, we try to obviously be respectful, and you're going to find people arguing with you saying, ABA is fine. Everybody has had their experience. I personally feel a more person-centered approach is desirable. So I'm going to kind of peter off here in case I get some hate mail. That would be one way to go viral. But yeah, I center the person rather than looking to extinguish behaviours. That's how I think of the balance there. Well, it looks like somebody ran out of the decorating budget. Let's have a look at UDL, Universal Design for Learning first. This offers flexibility in how students engage and process and demonstrate their knowledge and adapting to each student's strengths, including special interests. So with application and lesson planning, you can incorporate varied options for assignments or projects where autistic students can use their special interests as a focal point. For instance, if the interest is animals, then teachers can allow an assignment related to science, art, and literacy to engage this interest. So, using documentation, we do have UDL planning templates to help organise the lesson objectives, and we go at it through multiple means of engagement, multiple means of representation, multiple means of expression, and ensuring all students can participate. Sounds a lot now, but once you get going, it's like, oh, yeah, that totally makes sense. So, with inquiry based, project based learning, or PBL, both methods give students autonomy and choice. That's really key for engaging autistic students. Students use their special interests as a lens to explore topics more independently or as part of group work. So, an autistic student's special interests can steer a project's direction, supporting engagement and allowing them to contribute uniquely. PBL is especially effective in topics like science and history and the arts, where a student might explore themes related to their interest. With documentation, there are planning guides to outline project goals, the steps, and the assessment criteria, and you making sure that the students' interests are integrated from start to finish. But you can see this will apply to anybody. Once you start planning like this for somebody who's autistic, it will go for everybody. It is the tide that raises all boats, this whole pedagogical approach. So, looking at differentiated instruction, everybody's heard this phrase, differentiation. There's also personalisation, which is differentiation on speed. But let's have a look at this one. DI is a flexible approach that can tailor teaching methods and materials and assessments to individual learners' needs and their interests and their learning styles. So teachers can create learning pathways that allow students to approach a topic through their special interests, offering choices in content in the process or product based on their strengths. The documentation you use, there are planning templates helping you design varied activities and assessments with a specific focus on an interest-based modification. So you can see really in the end, all you really need is the outline of where you're going and not particularly a special kind of planning format. Once you know where you're going, you could write it on a napkin if you needed to. To a lot of people, the flipped classroom. This is when students engage with the lessons and the materials, the videos and readings at home, and then use class time for discussion, exploration, and personalised tasks. This is really good for autistic students. They love that kind of video modeling or looking at something again and again and again. It allows great time for processing. And then once you get into the class, you're up and running. So they can explore content related to their interests at their own pace before applying what they're learning in the classroom. So the documentation, lesson outlines, student response journals, and you could even get people to record speech to text, all that sort of stuff. That all supports the approach, and it provides space for reflections on pre-learning activities and ideas for class engagement. Now we've come to integrated learning. It involves combining multiple subjects or skill areas within a single learning experience or a project. So it's very real life. So students can make connections across disciplines. When planning for autistic students with special interests, integrating learning can be a really powerful approach because it allows them to explore their passions while building a wide range of skills. And you can see as well from the learning that we've done before that if you've got something adjacent to that special interest, there's a very good chance that people will start to move into not other interests, but adjacent interests and learn skills in those areas too. So for autistic students, special interests are often deep and enduring, as you know. So this provides quite a motivating framework for them. So we've seen this slide before, why wouldn't you? So I'm going to ask you, why wouldn't you have a look at some of these pedagogies, have a crack at them, and see if they're sustainable and acceptable to you, and see if you can adapt them and change them up and change them around until you've got a style and an approach that everybody's thinking, this is buzzing. Miss rocks or Sir rocks. Either way, they rock. We all rock. So, yeah, I encourage you to have a look at all these approaches And I will show you on the next slide where you can get information on all of them, all in one place. So just a reminder again that this is part of a series of learning that is all on Google Classroom. There's resources and activities in there. So if you've come over from Room B, you've got access to everything there. If you don't know about Room B, come join us on Facebook and join the discussion about inclusion in schools. And if the links aren't working in any way, please let me know. If you've got any comments or any ideas for resources, or you'd want to say anything about what you've seen here, except the ABA, but I don't want to know. I'm joking. Of course, I want to know. I'm open. So, anything you want to know, participate in all these different ways, and I'll see you over there. Aside from these guides to UDL and this wonderful TKI guide to inclusive design modules, there's also a piece of paper. That's the old-fashioned piece of paper where, when I first started teaching, we would put our topic in the middle. So it's integrated learning, really. And then everything we did around the outside for maths, we'd say what we're doing that related to the topic. So, yeah, real integrated learning stuff. And the most basic way to incorporate special interests. There's also going to be videos. There's a great one from 5 Minutes More channel. There's all sorts of other stuff that I'm piling as we speak into the Unit 3 module to make sure that you've got enough to choose from to get started on your journey or to continue your journey. I was just reflective practitioner as I am, that this is the meatiest topic in all of the topics we've covered so far. It's huge and it's got the shortest video. That's because all the learning is self-directed, it's over to you, and all the big stuff about it is over in the Google Classroom. So yeah, I just take a dive in and really just let me know what you think and let me know what you're trialing. Let me know what's not working. Let me know what is working. Let everybody know, because we're all in this together and we're all learning and we all want the best for our kids. Thanks heaps for watching.